Hi there! That's right, it's Great and Glorious, simply famous one, Nick Dutch, back on the camera again one more time for another delightful and absolutely fascinating tarot show. This is what you've been waiting for all week long, and here it is, Nick Dutch to satisfy you. And it's giving the cards a quick shuffle as I always do, nice, thorough, nice, detailed, heavy, good quality shuffling here, okay? Of course, if you want to have your reading included in the tarot show, send me an email through on nickdutchtarot@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to add you to the rota. There's a few subjects I don't cover, such as pregnancy, medical matters, childbirth, and a few other, finicky little things here, there, and everywhere, okay? But essentially, most questions are about work, career, family, love life, relationships, and all that kind of stuff. How are you getting on with your ex, or your future partner, or your next partner, and so on and so forth. So that's the kind of direction we normally take these things in. For those of you who still don't yet know, or still haven't voted for me, I am up for an award, as are lots of people within this industry. So go down to the link and make sure you vote for me, the great and glorious Nick Dutch, okay? And the second line that I work for here in the UK, which is called kumar.co.uk. And that's essentially the way in which you help me. If you help me, then everything will be good. I'm sure you value these tarot shows and all the good things that I can do for you here, and so on and so forth. So let's crack on with the first reading of today. There'll be plenty more links down there. Visit them all, see what good stuff I'm doing, and I'll speak to you guys. Okay, now Pamela is very curious about the move to another state. Her employer is sending her out in that direction, and she wants to make sure it's going to work out okay. So here we go, combination of tarot and anything else that comes through, one step at a time. Right, oh, this is looking very, very good. More responsibility without a shadow of a doubt. The Hermit can speak about many different things, sometimes being alone with your responsibilities, sometimes more responsibilities. Also heading towards a goal. This is just part and parcel of your path towards the next big goal for yourself as far as career, finance, and longer term future, longer term game plan. So the energy I've got there is actually looking really rather good. It might feel isolated, having to get rid of an awful lot of things where you are at the moment. And there is a feeling of a bit of a wrench there, tearing yourself away from things you know and things which are familiar to you. But in this particular case, the Fool card is speaking about a joyous sense of something new, something wonderful, and something exciting further on around the corner. Not too much in the way of inner conflict. The Knight of Swords there was coming out reversed, alright, so there is a bit of a sense of conflicts and trial and tribulation when you're going through the process of change, but the feeling there is still really rather positive without a shadow of a doubt, okay? Even a bit of a sense of a loving abundance and financial abundance coming your way too. So as far as your career side of things is concerned, yes, this is moving you in the right direction. Definitely without the shadow of a doubt. I would try and embrace this in whatever way you can. Okay, Remy, an individual who's curious about the next relationship coming through. Okay, Remy, you've been unlucky in love. Well, that happens to a lot of people, so I would say that that's actually reasonably normal. But on the other hand, you're waiting till a bit later in life, and so now you've actually got more wisdom to make sure something can actually work out right for you. Sometimes a delay can be a benefit. I know of people who've actually got married the moment they've left school, okay, and things didn't work out according to plan. So let's have a quick look and see whether you're better suited in the here and now for a good quality relationship that you're going to enjoy. Bear with me a second, please. Okay, this is the kind of spread which I'd expect to see if things are going to work out brilliantly for you. You may, time frame I can't quite give you. By 12 months from now, by then, you will be sorted. Alright, this is what I feel. But I feel it's more a question of something starting much earlier in the time frame and leading on to something bigger and better and building a connection and working hard at it and doing the next right thing to make sure it can be worked and built up rationally, intelligently, and in all the right ways, okay, so that things can work out alright. The very first sign which came through, the Two of Cups, speaking about two people in loving unity together. This is a promise for your future, alright? It's not saying that that's something to aspire to, it's saying it's a promise for your future. Sure, you still got to work for it when it comes there. And of course, Two of Swords, in this particular case, is not as conflict driven, it's not talking about a battle, it's talking about two people in communication. So it's going to be an intellectually based as well as a romantically based relationship with the potential for things to work out really rather well. Further on down the line, development of passion. I think this could develop relatively soon for you, let's say within 4 months maybe. You may come across the individual during that time. Maybe that's why we've got the good old-fashioned Two of Cups there, suggesting two people being entwined within the short-term future part of the reading, and then moving up to a time of communication, kind of like empathic communication, and building up the bond bit by bit. Then passion, which is when things start to get physical and start to get really pleasant, and when you get used to each other. And further on down the line, even more loving signs. But this is the Four of Cups this time, talking about a progression forwards, and moving from maybe a soulmate connection to a life partner connection. There's lots of promises out there for you, alright? So essentially, will it happen for you? I don't see any negativity there. It's going to happen. You just got to have faith. If you've been single for a long period of time, it is possible to lose faith. It is. And you can start to think to yourself, oh, it's not going to happen to me, and so forth, okay? But the fact of the matter is, things aren't quite like that for you. I feel that there's going to be change, and real good change too. Now we got one from Jackie, who's asking more or less the same question. Basically, is there going to be an individual entering into her life? Let's have a quick peek and see what kind of thoughts, feelings, moods, energies, and all the rest of that are going to appear. My catchphrases, absolutely love them all. Okay, here we go. One step at a time. Right. The way that the reading is describing it is maybe you've been affected by being single a bit more than the previous inquiry. The reason I can say that is because we've got some very dark signs. When you're reading tarot, you've got a complex tarot deck like this one. Look at the colours. What do the colours signify? Okay, so the here and now part of the reading talking about sadness or a feeling that you're a personal failure. But this is only in a part of the reading which deals with the way in which you're looking at the world, not necessarily the way that things are. Okay, so I think you're placing this relationship type thing as being too important. And the thing which is not important in your eyes is basically yourself and all the good things you've already got. You need to develop some gratitude in the here and now to lift yourself up out of the darkness, the depressions aspect, so that you can feel better about being able to go out there into the world and start to make a relationship that would actually work for you. Now, what else we got here? Very interesting vibes, alright? Stability, a stable character, someone who's actually got a lot of wisdom, but they're also a very empathic individual as well, okay? Maybe there is some feminine aspects of his character, but on the other hand, it's still a person who is appealing, a person who you can fit in very nicely with, still strong, resilient, intelligent, sometimes silent, but often very good at bringing forward a good quality connection. Again, more signs of loving abundance. Why is that coming through? Think about that. Plus, again, a mirror number. Okay, we got the number 3 coming up here. Number 3 coming up here. Number 3 coming up here. Okay. It could well be this is someone who's been involved in another relationship that's coming to an end and they're then entering into your life. That's why the number 3 is coming through in this particular case. It's one particular explanation, not necessarily the one, but them moving away from a relationship with something or someone else to a relationship with you would be a very good quality way of explaining it in the here and now. Working hard for end results. This could again be another form of life partner connection, which means that I don't see this in a negative light either, and I think that you are going to allow it to happen. You're going to make it happen. Okay, this person is physical, they're down to earth, they're intelligent, maybe technologically driven, got a good quantity of wisdom about themselves. These are good attributes. Okay, Melissa, very quickly, I'm not doing general readings on this anymore. Okay. Specific questions, I want to be able to just get through them and do you some good, alright? General readings don't always help. They can be there for good entertainment, they don't always help you. Bear that in mind, okay? Okay, Sabra's got a boyfriend, and this particular boyfriend does not change his status on Facebook, and she wants to know whether she should be concerned. Alright, well let's just have a quick look and see basically what's coming on through. Now I'm treating this with the 8-card relationship reading for a very good reason, because I want to focus in on your connection. You're inquiring about being concerned. All I can do is tell you what I can see here. Remember, it's a complex conversation between what goes on in here, what I see in the cards, the question itself, and a few other factors. Alright, let's have a quick look and see what kind of things are going to appear for you. Okay, this is intriguing. There is a bond between the two of you, but you're building it in a way which is not necessarily in keeping with your expectations. There is love there, without the shadow of a doubt. We've got signs of that on your side of things towards him, and on his side of things towards you. Very strong Venusuvian aspect there, strong green colours, Venusuvian symbol at the top. This is definitely a feeling of love. But his behaviour is not quite what you want it to be. I don't think you need to be concerned. There's no real sense of him being with anybody else or wanting to be with anybody else. So essentially you need to focus in on what is being communicated by his actual behaviour rather than his online status. Now, as far as your midterm future part of the reading is concerned, yes, we've got something good just around the corner for you. much more of a sense of a bond, connection, communication working out okay. But this is going through a short-term future period. Some things you don't want to or you shouldn't discuss with him, but be careful about that and be wise. It's what you communicate and how you communicate it that really matters. And if you're going to discuss with him the aspect which is his Facebook status, that's relatively trivial by comparison with the actual relationship. So bear that in mind as well, alright? It's not a bad connection, but it's a very wise, intelligent connection which could actually go life partner if you plan it well. Hello, C's with 3 E's, didn't you spell it? I think you did there, okay. Let's see what the reading says for yourself. You're mainly concerned about your career and how to be able to bring your ideas into fruition and where your life is going to go in a longer term future. So here we go. Bear with me a second, still shuffling like crazy. We'll do a chronological spread and see what kind of things are appearing for you. Right, okay. Now you say that you're someone who deals with precision and doing everything right in that particular case. Yes, there we go. 6 of Swords talking about literally precision or meticulousness or carrying on thinking in a very structured way, but also planning for the future, okay? So carry on doing what you're doing, but still carry on planning for your longer term future. And also dreams, hopes and aspirations coming through in a very big way. You're a very creative individual. But I think that sometimes you need to be taken away from the humdrum of a standard routine of work so that you can start bringing yourself into a position that you'd actually enjoy, okay? Your work is enjoyable to you. We got signs of happiness there. So the here and now part of the reading is not looking too bad. But I feel you get caught up very much in like the here and now and keeping yourself surviving rather than getting the progression that you're actually after, basically. So bit by bit there may be some progression for you. Let's have a quick look and see what the longer term future holds for you. Okay. Same as before. Okay, we've had this message coming out with a lot of people before, the message of the dethroned sovereign, the message that you will one day achieve something, overcoming a feeling of futility that you might be feeling at the moment because like you've got all the ideas and all the aspirations, but essentially, you know, you're not moving further forward, are you? Then all of a sudden a bit of a message of yes, something good is going to happen for you there, and you're going to reach this level. I would say 2 to 4 years down the line from now, your life will be completely different as far as your career is concerned. The Emperor is also a financial sign as well, speaking about some forms of progress. A little bit of a struggle to get there, I feel, but your intellectual aspect, I mean this reading is, this particular spread, sorry, is dominated by air and fire signs, if you think about that. Swords and staves, alright, coming out with lots of pip signs there. We got some martial signs, we got some signs relating to study and being in control, because that's essentially part of the aspect of the 7 of Swords there. And of course more signs relating to wealth. It's the career message which is coming through in this particular case. And a kind of like a complex dynamic. Apply yourself, yes, but what are you applying yourself to? What particular aspect of your goals are you starting to manifest bit by bit and slowly in the future? I think that you're focusing out of necessity on survival, which you have to do and you have to carry on doing. But, alright, there is a but and there is the next step, and that is how do you sort of like create the future for yourself. The good news is I'm seeing you be able to do it. Okay, Pam. You wanted me to have a quick look at your career in the longer term future. Let's have a quick look and see what the reading says. Try and be as quick as I can, so I want to try and get through all the ones on the email account prior to potentially going back and tackling some of the ones that are on the YouTube account. Okay, longer term feeling of satisfaction. There's no signs of worry, but you've got to be determined to get to where you want to go. The next move, so to speak, will entail more responsibility for yourself. But that level of responsibility is still going to bring about some forms of pleasure without the shadow of a doubt. And yes, we've got some very strong financial signs for you too. So on the career side of things, if you remain dedicated to things that actually work out according to plan, definitely. And then it's just a question of overcoming negativity so you can apply your passion in the longer term future to get basically what you want to get. I think that socially it's going to work out okay. I think that it's going to work out quite well for you as far as work and career as well. Okay, Lady Celestine, who communicated via the private message section on YouTube, try and do much more via the email, which is nickdutchtarot@gmail.com, okay, to everybody out there. But let's have a quick look and see basically what's coming through for Lady Celestine, as far as are you situated well for home and career and all the rest of it. Alright, you've already been through a bit of a struggle, but this is part of a longer term game plan for which you've been planning quite extensively. There's a feeling of being able to reach a time whereby you can turn around to people and tell them, this is what I did, this is how I achieved it, I hope that the information that I'm giving you can help you in your path too. It's a question of good stuff there, alright? A lot of things that seemed a bit emotionally a bit too much for you, and the feeling of frustration you may have felt earlier on was a bit too much, but now your life is starting to reach a level of completion whereby you can actually start to fulfill everything you need to get the right quality of results for yourself. So it looks quite interesting where you are at the moment and the direction you're taking your life. It looks good, and I think it looks quite positive too. Okay, Twilight Stargazer, you want to see whether you got some psychic ability? Let's have a quick look for you, bear with me a second. In order to answer your questions, no, I don't think you feel someone's energies through a computer. What you can do is have an image of someone, and you can try and use the image psychometrically, okay? It's not a question of touching the computer screen and hey presto, you know, the psychic vibes come down via your ADSL or broadband cable, you know, it doesn't happen like that. But you can use an image or an idea or a representation and use that as a means of trying to connect with a thought, feeling and energy. That's the way it appears to be anyway, alright? Yeah. This is too cool. We got both the Magician and the Star card. The Star card does speak about magic. It actually appeared in my Twitter feed recently. I did that earlier on this morning. And the Star card often talks about, you know, including magic, alright? Something of a clairvoyant nature, going for your goals and aspiration. The Magician card speaks about something new, a new level of development. You've done most of the bulk of your basic studying. Now you're moving on to the next level whereby you can use your skills. Yeah, I'd say you've got some kind of ability there, but you've got to think rationally about how you go about using it, basically. Not because I think there is some kind of evil to it all, but essentially when you're trying to analyze the experiences that you get, try and put it into practice and just see them as strange experiences that you're choosing to experience rather than necessarily like a hard and fast proof of the way the universe works. So placing your hand on the computer screen will not provide you with the answers to life, the universe and everything, okay? It's more a question of meditation, contemplation, prayer and all that stuff being used in a quasi-shamanic way, alright, to try and access subtle changes in consciousness which you experience, you know, a very slightly different mood appearing at random, a sudden visualization appearing, you know, little things like that, and then trying to work out what they could hypothetically mean without jumping to too many conclusions, alright, and learning to build some skill in differentiation between different types of sensations and what they could actually mean, whether it's something happening inside your own mind, inside your own body, and how that could be affecting your brain, or whether it's something from a hypothetical outside. Alright, that's the skill you need to do, the skill of discernment. And if you can learn that and learn that well, then you've got it. You've got the skill, the energy, and all the rest of that. So essentially, there's some good stuff for you. Okay, Jeebles, you've got a few questions for me. Okay, first you asked me what are your strengths. Let's do a 4-card reading on it. I would say you're a fighter. You know, you try and achieve things as a result of your own effort. You're an optimist. You try and take the right kind of attitude. Sometimes you're a little pessimistic when there's interference, but to the most part you're quite focused in on good goals, and you're also quite an empathic individual as well, with a very strong sense that you can actually achieve an awful lot more to help heal other people. There is this almost like a medical aspect to the way in which your reading is planning out. I did the 4 cards, I'm expanding it because I feel like there's more of a message to come through. So here we go. What else have we got there? I think you got a good quality of morality, although it doesn't always come to the fore. It is there inside you. Maybe tap into that a little more. That plus the healing aspects. And your, rugged determination is really going to be really quite important for you with the passage of time. So enjoy the progress and see how your life pans out, because it feels very interesting as far as the longer term future is concerned, because you've got the right attitude to be able to do well for yourself. Okay, now you also wanted to know about what your brother thinks about you and whether you'll ever settle down in a relationship. Let's have a look at the relationship question first and foremost. The answer there would have to be yes, you are. Okay, check that out. Very good, very positive coming out in the Lovers card there. Very strong signs of passion and drive, so essentially it's going to be quite a close connection and you'll be able to really rather enjoy it. The energy of this person is very similar to yours, very determined, very robust. But I don't think it's a question of opposites attract. I think it's a question of similarities and having similar goals, as well as a similar mentality, which is actually going to work out okay. Now we're going to stylize the 8-card relationship reading for you very briefly, to see what your brother thinks about you. Right. Your brother is in a state of envy about you. There's something about your ability to be able to cope with life that your brother feels is really rather difficult. You're going to have to be a little more diplomatic with your brother to be able to make sure that there isn't all that much in the way of conflict. On his side of things, he feels slightly out of balance. That's essentially where the envy is coming from. But I feel that you can actually be there to be a wise person to bring him back on track, basically. He's quite a good individual with the right kinds of attitudes, but I feel that your pride is a little stronger than his is. Your determination's a little stronger as well, and I feel he struggles with those things. But generally speaking, it's not looking like you got a bad family connection there. Okay, those are all the readings for today. If you want to have your reading included in a tarot show, please don't send me War and Peace. Okay, don't do that. No more general inquiries. Okay, not good. Naughty, naughty. All right. Just try and keep it focused and on target, because I actually want to be useful to you and give you that moment of contemplation that you actually require, that you actually want to have, and so on and so forth. So be aware of that, because there's things you need to be aware of in terms of the way in which I do the show, the kind of delivery I want to be able to give you, and the ways in which I want to be able to help you. Alright, I mean, I can sit here doing general readings till the cows come home, and it might be quite pretty, might be quite entertaining, but I won't be selling myself as being someone who's actually there to help you deal with individual problems which have basically been on your mind. So that's what I'm doing, that's why I'm doing it, and I hope that's okay with all of you guys and girls out there. Remember, get your requests through via the email address nickdutchtarot@gmail.com. What more can I add? Vote for me in the awards. Have a look at my other links down there. They're all very good, plenty of useful, interesting information. Just expand the information box after you finish watching the video, and keep the window open. Right click and open each of the one at a time once you finish reading them and seeing basically what I'm doing, because I've got fingers in pies, I'm doing all kinds of stuff, and it's great to be able to be of help to so many people in so many different ways, and I like being creative in the way in which I'm of assistance. If you want to get a reading from me, I'm available in the mornings USA time via keen.com and live person, or you could just go to my website, which is nickdutch.co.uk. Alright, and the links are on there if you go to the tarot page. What else can I say? If you want to call me in the UK, I'm normally available in the mornings, depending upon my schedule, okay? And that will be on kumar.co.uk. Don't forget to vote for me in the awards for On Kumar, because time is running out. It's only until the end of August. We're in the middle of August now, just past the middle of August. So time is running pretty slim for me here. Make sure you get your votes in. And I will definitely look forward to speaking to each and every single one of you very, very soon. God bless.